Kak bang oi, Folk Mob Day. What's going on, everyone? My name's Hurley, a YouTube content creator here in Vietnam. I wanted to make this video to help you have the best trip that you can in Vietnam, and hopefully it helps you to enjoy your time here. Let's get started. All right, everyone, first tip on the list, rather basic, but very important, and that is to smile, to keep a positive attitude. Personally, I used to spend a lot of time in the tourist areas, the tourist market, practicing my Vietnamese with locals who also spoke English and could correct my Vietnamese. But during that time, I saw some of the worst attitudes from tourists from around the world. They would treat Vietnamese like second-class citizens when they don't even remember that they are guests in their country. Now me, I've always had positive reactions. I would say 99% of the interactions I've had over the past 7 years were positive. Why? Because I approach Vietnamese with a friendly, positive attitude, and I encourage you to do the same on your trip. Let's go to the next tip. This next tip is one of my favorites. Yes, it is all about the food. Of course, Vietnam is famous for food such as pho and banh mi. But aside from trying those, you should go outside of your comfort zone and try some of the lesser known foods among foreigners, such as durian, bún đậu mắm tôm, duck embryos, and maybe even coconut worms. If you need any recommendations for food, and not just food, but restaurants, you can look on my channel. I have plenty of reviews for you to check out with the addresses in the description. But that leads me to my next tip. So we talk about the food, you know what dishes you want to try, but where can you get these dishes? The next tip I want to give you is all about the apps. There are plenty of apps here in Vietnam that will make your experience that much better. Apps such as Baemin, Beeline, Grab, Gojek, Foodie, Shopee Food, and Google Translate. Now with these apps, you can search the dish you want, find the restaurant with the best reviews, and even if you don't feel like going out to find the restaurant, you can get delivery to your hotel room from these apps. But speaking of the apps, there's more than just food to be had, and that leads me to our next tip. Apps are great, but not just for food, for taxis as well. Now when it comes to safety with taxis, I would say Vietnam ranks much higher than some other countries I've been to in Southeast Asia, but you still need to be safe. For example, when my little brother came to Vietnam in 2018, he didn't listen to my advice, and he got into a random taxi and lost $20 like that. So I recommend you stay with known names such as Vinasun and MyLin. But even better, set up the apps beforehand. Apps like Grab, Gojek, Beeline. You can even attach your card to them so there's no exchange of money and nothing is lost in translation. Speaking of translation, let's move to our next point. Let's talk about getting lost in translation in the Vietnamese language. Vietnamese language is one of the most difficult languages in the world. Trust me, I've lived here for 7 years and I've tried to learn it during that time. Even though I have a Vietnamese wife, live with her Vietnamese family, and even had my own TV show on Vietnamese television, and I'm still not fluent. But don't let that discourage you from trying. They appreciate the effort. So use an app such as Google Translate, listen to the audio for it, and little things such as Xin chào, hello, or Cảm ơn, thank you, or Bạn rất là đẹp trai hay là đẹp gái, you are so beautiful. Vietnamese will love the effort and you will get a better, friendlier, and more welcoming response. Let's move on to the last tip. I almost forgot. Speaking of language, let's talk about the language of the bathroom. There's a special thing in Vietnam known as the bum gun. And until I came to Vietnam, I did not know about this special thing. If you do not have toilet paper or baby wipes, you can use this magical sprayer to clean your bum. All this talk makes me kind of have to go to the bathroom, but yeah, let's get to the next tip. All right, guys, last tip I have for you is just to be aware. Be aware of yourself and your belongings. Even though Vietnam is a very safe country, doesn't mean you can't get your bag or your phone snatched on the side of the road. So please, be aware of your surroundings and realize that the major crime here is people driving by on motorbikes and snatching personal belongings. But besides that, I feel rather safe. You know, I walk around at 3 in the morning, not a care in the world, but don't lose your senses, don't get too drunk, and you should be okay. Whew. All right, guys, I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you found it informative as well as entertaining. If you want to find out more about Vietnam, make sure you check out the rest of my channel here on Phuc Mop Vlog. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments or something you'd like me to cover in another video. I'd be happy to do it in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and share the video with your friends, and I hope you have a great trip in Vietnam. Till next time, hang gặp lại and chúc mừng năm mới.